everybody, and welcome again to your favorite program, Relationship Talk Show. In today's edition, we shall be talking about before you choose a life partner. And as you all know, I'm not alone. With me, I have
Winifred Elizabeth Junisa from Passion Connect.
and
Mrs. Favoani Michael Fuller from the Before You Side movement.
Mrs. Fatma Monica Mansaye from the Radiant Women Organization.
I welcome you all to this wonderful discussion.
Thank you.
And as I stated earlier on, we shall be talking about before you choose a life partner. That is to say, what are the requirements you are supposed to have before you choose a life partner. And please don't forget to like, to share, and to hit the comment section. Please tell us what you think. And I'll start with you, Ma.
Thank you very much, Madam Links Buckle, for such a great time that we're having a timely discussion like this. And also, I would want to indulge the audience to take some of these things as life traveling advices or discussions that you should ponder on. So, having said all of that, and we all know youth as well as adults, young youth, young adults, and aged, everyone is, getting married from time to time. So I would want to talk on the things one should get in mind. There is no straight line, or there is no laid down rules or criteria on what anybody can follow through to have a life partner.
Sure.
But one thing I know for sure, all of what you need is personally, is personally requested. It depends on the different individual. So for instance, I can say I want somebody to start with that is God-fearing, that fears the Lord. Because if you fear God, you will do exactly what He says. So for me, and generally, I believe it is a norm that if we young people we follow through, believe you me, it will guide our path. So fearing the Lord for me, and I believe for most people, is what is paramount. But there are other physical or feasible standards as well that you set, that you would know, because remember, each individual that goes into a search for a relationship that would lead to marriage has what they want in a partner, what they're looking for, and what they will follow, and what they will, for instance, the women, what they will submit to, for the men, what they will take along to support them. So if you, for instance, I want to find a wife, or I want to find a husband, and I start looking at what my friend set as a standards, I might be missing it all. Because at the end of the day, when I go into that marriage with that person, and I find out that what was the criteria for my friend doesn't apply to my own relationship, then it leads to failure. That's without any hesitation, I can say. And another thing as well is that we need to set standards for ourselves.
That's right.
In as much as you want to see this and this way for this person, before you know that I can work with this person, you need to set a standards of discipline. And young people of these days, we get towards carefree life, carefree living. We just live by the day. And this life that we're living, we only have it but for one time in this life, and we should take it very much seriously. And when it comes to marriage, or when it comes to looking out for life partner, remember, if you had reached to that level to find a life partner, you must have fulfilled all other, be it monetary, because you cannot get married if you don't have any means of sustenance. How can you sustain your family? And for us the ladies, let us don't get it wrong by saying, if I find a man for myself who can take care of me, that is why it ends. No. If you must have a successful marriage, because earlier on I always say that we are the burden bearers in marriage. We bear a lot of things that even men are not capable, not that in a bad light, but they don't have the capacity to bear it, to suck it up. We do. So if we also don't have that standards that have trained us, that has nurtured us to be able to look out for something that will suit us going along, then we would have missed the picture. So for finding a relationship, you have to take one personal standards into consideration, and also to know what you want. Because all of that is in having a standard, but it also stands out. Because if you don't know what you want, you might be having standards of discipline, standards of high value, standards of hard work, but you don't know what you want. You will just be falling into different wrong places and having different losses. So knowing what you want is also something that you can set for yourself. That is the general background or standards that anyone can employ, and at the end of the day will benefit. And many other, Madam Boko, that will be
Thank you very much, because nowadays I see people setting standards for the man that they want.
That's it.
Failing to set standards for themselves.
Yes.
So I believe before you choose a partner, firstly you set your standards for yourself, and also be disciplined.
Be disciplined. You
Be
will need
disciplined. For instance, I will tolerate this, I will take this, I will take this. But setting standards for yourself is very important.
very
important.
If you must go far, it is very important.
Over to you, Mrs. Fuller.
Yes, Mrs. Boko, thank you very much, ma. One of the most important points we should put down before you choose a life partner is knowing God yourself. You should know God yourself. I'm not saying going to church. I'm not saying praying, fasting. Do you have a relationship with God?
That's it.
Because you cannot go into a relationship or marriage if you don't have a relationship with God. How can you take care or handle that relationship if you don't have a relationship with God? Because you having a relationship with God, you have learned how to be in a relationship with someone. Because God will teach you. God will nurture you. But if you don't have a relationship with Him, how can you manage a relationship with your fellow woman, man or being? Because God is the perfect being of all. So if you have a relationship with a perfect being, you having a relationship with the imperfect being, honestly, you will be okay because you have learned. But most of the time, you say, he's a Christian, she's a Christian, she's going to church. Okay, continue. My dear brothers and sisters, aunties and uncles, or fathers and mothers, please build your relationship with God before thinking about entering into a relationship or marriage. You need it. Not go risk people picking life.
Indeed.
Please make sure you have a relationship. It's very risky to be in a relationship or marriage with someone who did not have a relationship with God. You are risking your whole generation because they didn't even know what it means to be in a relationship. So for me, I think this is a very vital point. When you know God, you will know how to deal with your fellow. You will know. But you not having a relationship with God, it's like a bomb ready or waiting to explode. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. And she's saying the salient point that we should know God.
Sure.
You cannot say you love your partner and the partner doesn't know God. I believe God should be at the center of everything. First to start with, before you desiring a partner, I believe you should pray to God. And
Exactly.
He should direct you because we don't know. We don't because we don't use our human eyes to find partners. I believe God should help you. And I see it as a joy for you to hold your partner's hand together, praying together, be it Muslim or Christian, in whatever way. I believe.
And Madam Boko, I'm sorry to cut it short there.
It's okay.
That is one thing I know. I mean, we are not perfect to that point because it's only Christ that makes us perfect. But one thing I always had in mind, just as my honorable sister here said, that you must find someone that knows God. Imagine if you're thinking that I need someone for the men, I need someone that needs that can be able to do chores. I don't want a lazy woman, and your standard sets on that. I need someone that is hardworking, and your standard sets on that. Today, he can be that hardworking with you, laundering your clothes, with cooking for you. But by the time you go into marriage, believe you me, he will stop.
Exactly.
Because if he knows that person love God, you would know that he or she is willing to do what God says in regards to marriage. When I was about to when I reached the peak that I know I want to settle down, I told God, I said, God, I am telling you that I am ready, not because I just want to say it, but because if whatever husband you will give to me, that is the husband I will take. If you give me a husband that doesn't fear you, you know what will happen? If the husband at the end of the day said to me, don't go to church, I said I would have to listen to you. Because you know I fear you, and your word said that I should listen
to my husband,
submit myself to his vision. So if you give me, so that is why I've not gone to find my husband for myself. I've come to you in prayer. Lord, lead him to me.
And funnily for us born again Christians, there is no divorce in addiction.
No divorce in our dictionary.
And can I come in right in there?
Yes.
As you started saying, you said you said every one of us should pray that God should give us a God-fearing husband before ever we choose a partner. Now, before you choose a partner, you yourself should be spiritual.
That's what I'm saying. You should know
relationship
God.
and love, it's not about the emotions. It's not about the feelings, but it's something that is very, very spiritual. And God is no longer choosing partner for any of us. He has given us the free will to go and choose. Because God knows, God made a mistake for choosing Eve for Adam. And when Adam disobeyed him, when Adam disobeyed him, now he started blaming God for giving him that kind of woman. So God now give us a free will to make our own choices. Now we've made our choices. We should pray. The first thing before choosing a partner, pray that God will give you a God-fearing partner. When somebody is God-fearing, that person will know how to treat you. The person will treat you in the fear of God. Will know that if I treat this woman bad, definitely will have the consciousness that my blessings will be hindered, and God will not bless me in return, or God will judge me for that. But if the person don't have that kind of conscience, that person don't know anything about that, is going to treat you anyhow. Or she will treat you anyhow. So that's the reason why we need to pray for God to direct us, or God to choose, help us choose, because God is no longer God will help us choose the partner that we want. Yes, let me just come in making our standards, in setting our standards in choosing partner. Let us don't be selfish. Some of us are so selfish in making this standard, saying, I want a woman that will come and work for me. What are you ready to give to the woman so that the woman can work for you? I want a woman that is submissive. Are you ready to love that partner so that the partner will be submissive? I want a woman that will respect me. Are you ready to respect that woman in return? So in making this standards for choosing partner, we should also be disciplined. As she said, Ali, Mrs. Boko said we should be disciplined in setting that standard. You have to be disciplined. Make sure you yourself, all the standards, you are ready to pay the price. Because it's all about sacrifice. It's all about sacrifice in choosing a partner, in settling in home, in getting married to another person. It's all about sacrifice.
In talking about sacrifices, you know, the spiritual people, they will say, okay, let's go 40 days prayer and fasting. Follow me to the mountain. Let's go.
And that should come by leading.
Exactly.
It shouldn't come because of it's a doctrine or something that if you're led to do that, then that is for you.
Some of them, they said that if I say, okay, let's go and do prayer and fasting, if you follow me, okay, that's me. 40 days prayer and fasting, let's go.
Then
go
you
to
know
the
that
mountain,
people
let's go and
can
pray.
So
they'll follow you. They have the enthusiasm to do that. They will follow you.
Another thing again, before we set our standards, or let's say before we choose a partner, right, we should check the background of every partner we want to choose. After praying, after seeing the person you want, go and check the background of that person. The sickness in that family, the things that are happening in that family. There are some family, they are cursed.
And
as soon as you get married to that person, the curse too will be upon you.
Definitely. That's what the scripture
There are some family, so many evil things is happening in that family. So you have to go and check.
Yes.
Do a background check.
And most society they do.
Yes, go and check. Even if not you, even if you are not the one that is going to do the checking or whatever, your parents, one of them should go and do a background check.
I advise let the individual go and do the
yes,
background check.
let the individual go and do the background
if the
check.
parents go and do the background check, they'll say it's because they don't like the person.
Yes,
exactly.
So you yourself that want to get married, go and do your findings.
Do your
So don't just fall in love with the makeup, the beauty,
or with the pocket, or with the pocket, or the car. Some people they fall in love with the car.
In this flight, we need to make it clear to them. When Mrs. Mazare is talking about go and do a background check, it's not about financial check.
No, it's not about the financial.
Now, some people have spiritual problems. So you will know if I will be able to handle this spiritual problem or not in their family or not. Exactly. Because if you don't do a background check, you don't know. You are not prepared. Some families, they don't stay in marriages. They get married and break out. They have no problem with that.
No problem.
So you coming from a family with a very solid marriage foundation, that you know that when you are married to this person is for lifetime, then you went for a woman or a man that does not have problem in living and cleaving against another person. My dear, do a background check. So know if you are spiritually stable, if you have the stamina to control
some family they die at a very young age.
Let me just come in. That's why you said spiritually stable, or if you can handle.
Yes,
if you are ready to pray.
exactly.
And there's a pastor, and I'm not calling him. When he is ready to marry, he has seen the woman, and then he said, I want this woman to marry. And they said, this woman you want to marry. When he went for background check, they said, this woman, she will not stay in a marriage. This woman, every man she got married to, the man is going to die. And then this woman is not going to give back because she has destroyed her womb. And he said, I will endure. He said, I will pray. Me, I will not die. Even if the demon will come, instead woman will die, but me, I will not die. I will marry this woman.
Well,
and then he got married to the woman. He got married. Up till now, they've not given birth. But the man is still alive. The woman is still alive. But the man is a prayer warrior, and he believes that he can pray. As long as you know you can handle the situation, that's what I want to say.
Yes.
As long as you know you can handle, you can pray. You know how strong you are spiritually.
But my sister, in this contemporary days, it is better not to endure.
Eventually, it's better than cure.
It will siphon all your energy.
That is prevention is better than
praying and asking God to replenish.
Marriage itself is meant to be enjoyed, not to go and endure. I know we can pray.
But the man is ready to endure, so. And he's in love. You know, some of us we fall in love with our heart. We don't fall in love with our head. That's where we make the mistake.
Mrs. Boko, another point again we need to look at is the person must have something doing, something going on. You will not say you want to get married and you are not doing business. You are not working, like you are not doing anything. What are you going to do around marriage? Please run for your life.
You should be able to capacitate yourself.
Exactly.
Find something and
Are you going to be swallowing bread?
all of your burden, family pressure on the man.
We the ladies,
Exactly.
that is our
You
common
should be
law
handy.
now. We should find ourselves doing something.
Yes.
We should make
Something going
ourselves viable.
Yes.
It is not for that man. Even if that man is wealthy enough to take care of your entire family,
It's for
bring
yourself.
something that you will use to support.
Yes.
Even if that man says, you know what, I don't want to. I don't want you to do anything. Tell the man, I want to contribute. Then if you don't want my financial contribution, well, let me use something that I can give to you in support.
Exactly.
And also, one thing we should fail not to, we should not fail to realize is the fact that if a man wants to limit you, sometimes we do have it at an early discussion before relationship that you know what, when I get married to you, I don't want you to labor, I don't want you to do anything. I don't. Then you will take up on me. It is not me, it is the husband. There is a challenge with that. Go in the books and search. There are challenges that will come up. One, because there will come a time when you don't give yourself to bringing in, and then all you see is doing is spending, is lavishing. There will come a time. It is a challenge. It is a challenge even for the children.
Yes.
Because they will look up to you and see that my mommy is only at the house, and so that will become a norm. Yes, sometimes you will be at the house lazing around, not making herself useful. You will be at the house and say, you know what, let me just be doing this, even if it's an online thing. Let me be getting something going. That is, you are also obeying your husband and doing something productive, because that will help the children. You will imbibe in the children that you are not lazy. Laziness are not for children or are not for anyone. But if you just sit there, my husband said I should not work. You know, spending money on makeup
and Mrs.
just staying home. It's something challenging. Julissa.
Mrs. Jimisa, let me just come in right in there. Any woman that don't want to work, that don't have anything to support, it is not an obligation, but you are supposed to support him. You are there to help him. If you don't have it, that doesn't mean the man should use it to abuse you, saying that you are just here to eat, you are not doing anything. No. But every woman should learn to empower herself. Exactly. Should learn to empower yourself. And you just sitting down at home idling, not doing anything to bring resource or to support the husband, you are going to be disrespected. Your husband will disrespect you.
Indeed.
You know, that's how disrespect come in marriages. You don't want to do anything, you just be sleeping, eating, just lavishing the money.
You have the
how can you even support your own family?
No, you will not be able to.
How can you even support your younger ones?
On the family,
that's why so many men are dead today, because of the pressure.
Family pressure.
Don't allow any man to tell you I want an housewife that cannot do anything.
They will not come straight.
That's the biggest mistake you will do in your life.
Condition they will put on you. No. And also for the young men, don't, when you're single now, don't be having that mentality that my wife will not do anything. When we mean anything, not even something creative, you should just be, because there are times men have this inferiority complex that they don't want to, they see their wives like they compete. Exactly. Like they compete with them. So if you are seen as someone who can give back to society and attract things to yourself, they will feel intimidated. They will feel like no, you are the wife.
Or for men are the jealous type. They don't want their wife to go out.
We have jealousy in marriage. There's jealousy, but that's a topic for another day.
There's
jealousy in marriage.
The wife will just stuck at home, take care of the kids, not doing anything.
Make sure they are knowledgeable enough. If you want your wife to be at home because you don't want a lot of interaction, it is your personal. No problem. We are something going on. But capacitate her wisely. Make her useful. If not even for you, because you don't want her money, but the children.
And our family as well. Our family. And she needs to support the family.
That's it. So if you leave her incapacitated, what will happen? The burden will come to you, but even if you don't mind, the respect, her self-worth will be diminished, and that will not help a young lady. So that should be taken into consideration when you are looking out for partners. These are the things you should be discussing. Discuss certain things. Don't just say certain things. We'll discuss it when we go into the marriage.
Some of them, the period of discussion, they use it to I love you, I love you.
That is exactly
ask questions. Don't toy with that. Okay, now for the ones that want to get married, please, I'm appealing. Make sure you have your own place to stay. Don't go and stay in a family house.
Another thing. That's another thing.
Don't stay in a family house with your spouse. Be it a man or a woman. If even it's one whom you can afford, go and start your family.
Another way to start is with
go and start your family.
Because you need to bond together.
How can you bond in a family house when you want to kiss your husband?
You have to cook for the whole family.
And the star is coming. You want to kiss your wife. Her mother is there.
Imagine one career.
How?
On the back.
And another thing again, no matter how you try to satisfy that family while living in that house,
you can't.
It poses
no matter. Yes, there are so many challenges that they are going to face living in the house of
just imagine you want to prepare breakfast in bed, you know.
How can
the wife is sleeping? See what you have stolen my son into.
Exactly.
You'll be sleeping.
Exactly.
Breakfast in bed.
Or it happened that the person is lazy a bit. Maybe you don't wake up early. You wake up around 10.
family will start to
But
complain.
your family will not
Yes,
tolerate
they
it.
will never tolerate. In fact, they are the ones that are going to make sure they put pressure on you to start complaining
please don't
of your
share
wife
with your
being too
family.
lazy.
So
You
you
know,
can be seen as
so
a
there are so
man.
many challenges, so many challenges.
There are.
Just imagine if you are having a time for, okay, say, let's give ourselves 1 year before we start giving birth to children.
Hey, that will become another demand of the
Okay,
day.
another thing again before we.
Yes, please.
Another thing again before we say I do.
Yeah.
Before we choose a life partner,
Sure.
let us focus on the religion of the person. You want to get married to this lady, you are a Christian. Now you want to get married, you are in love with this lady, but this lady is a Muslim and she's coming from a Muslim background, a very strong one at that. But you want to marry that guy and the family are not ready. And mostly, this one I want to talk about, the women are mostly disadvantaged. The women, yes. I am a Christian. I want to marry this man, but this man is a Muslim. And we say, I'm going to endure. And the man will be going to church and I'll be going to mosque. You think that man is going to allow you? That man is not going to allow you. He's going to accept. He's going to make it very sweet, telling you that, don't worry, when we get married, I will still allow you to go to your church and I'll be going to my mosque. As soon as you get married, he's going to stop you.
Yes,
Honestly,
and
all
he's going
that,
to stop
all of
you.
that boils down to knowing God.
knowing
He's
God
going to
in your
stop
personal
you.
space.
If you have known God, you will know what you want.
You will know what you want. And
You will not
most of
make
all,
such mistakes.
amidst all of these challenges when it comes to religion, what I want to say
Yeah.
is that there are a lot of challenges
Yeah.
that one or a couple once get married together can go through in a marriage relationship.
Sure.
So before, you cannot put yourself to want to go through the rigorosity of marriage life when you're not yet married.
Yeah.
And the culture or the norm of us young people nowadays is the fact that they don't pre-plan before they go into marriage. They just think it is a guess
Yeah.
and go in.
Yeah.
And but that is where we're getting it wrong, Madam Bokul and all here.
Yeah.
One thing we should begin to practice, if I want to learn this, I learn it. I source out material that will help me understand better.
Sure.
But here we're not doing it.
Yeah.
The reason being, we don't count it important. We see it as if it's non-essential, but it is.
It is.
Because it will guide you going into that relationship. Some of the challenges that you would have been able to go over. But that will stop you because you have failed to leap into before.
Yeah.
And then the homes.
Yeah.
Before now, we used to hear that in the early days, our parents, our noble mothers, our noble great grandparents, they used to teach young girls at certain age responsibility, how you should coordinate yourself, how you should live your life when you're single, and when you decide to go into, or when you're married, how you should comport yourself. Nowadays, even if a girl is moral by birth or by nature, and then you are seeing, yes, they will be mocking you. When your parents will say, look the way they make in quote, look the way they so you know use you and marry those. Instead of you for say this you attribute to a get, this unique attribute, it might help you in your relationship because it will help you to submit easily. But they will be forcing you to be aggressive because they want you in nature
To live your feminine energy.
Yes. That it will not help you, it will not aid you when you are that meek. And but remember, it is one of the fruits of the spirit. So as young people, we should begin to look into, in as much as when we want to go into university, we source out materials that will aid us on our causes. So also we should begin to look into.
Yeah, that's why we have the four side movement.
And moreover, we should place value on ourselves. You are okay before you say I do. You've already cohabitation with the man. You've packed all your stuff into the man's house. How will he say I do? You are cooking, doing everything. You are not yet
You started
married.
in the duties of the wife. When you're not
Cohabitation.
So the need will not be for you to be married.
Exactly.
And now let's emphasize on this religion. It's not a thing. It's not a child's play. I know so many couples that have gone through this. You know, some of us like to compromise. We like compromise. And marriage is a lifelong journey. You don't compromise in marriage. Before you say I do, you don't compromise some things. You cannot tell me that the person is a sickle cell patient. You know you don't want that kind of person. Go in and say I'm going to manage because I love this person. I'm in love with this person, so I'm going to endure.
Well, if the person
and let me come and let's say as I was saying, you're a Christian, you want to marry to a Muslim, and you know that this man is a Muslim, and definitely as a woman in our culture, if you marry to a Muslim, when you marry that man, you should change from Christian to Muslim. Now the man will tell you, should I quote you that I'm not going to allow that. It's happening now, it's happening today. I'm going to allow you to continue with your religion, and you are a fervent Christian, as you called yourself, because I know if you're a fervent Christian, you will not make that kind of choice. Now you decided to compromise. You should be ready to pay the price, because that man in the long run is going to stop you. He might not tell you don't go to church again, but he'll be telling you, today I have to fast, go and cook. By the time you are done cooking, it's late for you to go to church. That's how you start stopping you gradually until you just say, you know what, let me just go to the mosque.
With regards to religion, most of the time in my broadcasts or whatever, I don't like to talk much on religion.
Yeah, because in
our county we have religious tolerance. But if I may say anything with regards to that, my advice is, if you want to get married to someone, marry to someone that you are in the same faith with, because you have the same information. Information is powerful. If you are having information from the mosque, I'm having information from the church, believe me, we'll have conflict because we don't have the same information. But if you are having information from the mosque, I'm having information from the mosque, we are on the same page. If I'm having it from the church, you are having it from the church, we are on the same page.
Indeed.
So when it comes to religion, I will advise that you stick to your faith in order to prevent matters or stories that touches the heart, because that's why you see some people crying, when I not got married, he said he will this, now we are married, he said no. Before entering or going to that, prevention is better than cure. Everybody
married to a man that is in the same faith that you are.
Indeed. And you see also, please, let us don't ignore red flags.
Don't you ever ignore I made that mistake. Don't do you make that mistake? Do you ignore red flags? Because
the issues are meant to be ignored. Some red flags don't need to be ignored.
Exactly.
You don't
ignore red flags.
And also you don't force people to change. You don't change.
Never.
You will never be able to change a full-grown person.
Never.
You can convince the person to switch to the better side that you have convinced that person to see. But forcing that person, it will only lead to pretense.
Yes,
it would only make that, because the person wants what he or she wants.
Exactly.
So all he would need, or he or she would need to do, is to follow your friend until he gains or she gains that grudge.
Okay, now some people even pretend not to drink, not to smoke, not to club, not to womanize, because they want to have
you.
The moment they have you.
So talking about red flags, for example, if someone sees the red flags at the eve of the wedding, should they cancel the wedding?
You're not making a marriage.
No, then you've not watched enough, you've not observed enough, you've not done your
the red flag
to have seen a major red flag.
My darling, you have the opportunity to say I don't, even if you are
yes,
because it is a lifelong
you
journey.
have the opportunity to say I don't
instead of I do.
But if you allow everything, okay, they have spent money, let me just go.
Life
and going to change everything.
Also, even the printed souvenirs, preparation,
everything.
Even at the altar,
you don't compromise marriage.
You say this man or this woman as a lawfully wedded partner, Pastor, I don't. Nobody will kill you.
Yes. If you have
it is better to say it at that moment.
A broken engagement is better than a broken marriage.
because it is unacceptable.
Don't even try.
Some people will be thinking, what people will say.
Let them say.
What my mother
Are they
will
going
say.
to be in the marriage for
And
you?
that's the biggest problem of us.
That is the
Let them
challenge.
say.
Of most women. We always like to say, what do people say?
Of men. We do our lives to please our families, our friends, the society.
I'm not going to
People
marry.
say, what do
That
people say?
is
You
what
don't
is
get
killing
married to
us.
please anybody.
Let me tell you, the lady that was murdered in cold blood due to
Few days
violence.
ago.
Do you think she has not known that that man is violent?
Of course.
But perhaps
She must have been
what-
serious.
Exactly. What had been
must have
around
slapped her once.
what had been around the
Yeah.
relationship has been the factor preventing her perhaps from taking it.
Maybe she will be thinking, I've spent 9 years of my life with this man. Where can I start?
that's
Okay,
it.
now look at the result.
So you see, the result is always eminent. It's a loss.
Yeah.
It can be loss of your life, loss of your viable time,
Your destiny.
loss of your
Your
future,
finances.
and all that is within what you've given out. Imagine you get married to somebody violent.
Imagine.
If it kills you and you've gotten children, your children suffer.
Some of those things you need to
don't
take
ignore
note.
the red
You
flag.
don't
And one thing I
ignore
want
red
to say
flags.
is before we say yes I do, these red flags that we are talking about, as we are talking right now, we see the lights, the red lights going up and down. So, red flags in relationship is very, very important. We should make sure that we
What are the red
symbolize
flags?
danger.
You should not be
Yes.
physical with your spouse or your intent.
That's what I'm saying. In any relationship, let us not ignore these red flags. We should not
The
ignore
moment
them.
a man starts to slap you, run for your life.
Because he's going to beat
Okay.
you
Just
and
did
break
it
one of
once.
your legs
If it
one
didn't
day.
want,
So
you
you see,
continue.
Multiply. Don't joke with red flags.
We
If
should
he
not joke
starts
with red
to
flags.
abuse you or she starts to abuse you, because there are women too are violent in the relationship.
Yes.
We don't just say the men. I know women who flogged their husband.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yes. I will
it's
tell you.
happening. It's happening.
Yes, women too are violent with their husbands or their spouses. So if you have those red flags, you see them and you say, okay, I will endure.
I'll manage. I'll change it. These are the words that we should avoid as young people.
You can never give an
Once
old
they
dog
get
a new
married.
teeth. That's for sure.
You don't change. You don't.
Marriage is meant to enjoy, not to endure.
Exactly. Feel fulfilled with the person you will choose to venture life with.
Yeah.
Feel that this person can support me. I
Exactly.
can support this person
That's right.
with
That's
my
right.
full chest.
Yeah.
Don't think that I want to go into this relationship because this person can offer me.
You don't
And
Or what I
offer
can
me.
get from that person.
Now, before you say I do, before you choose a life partner, you don't choose a life partner based on sympathy.
No,
This person has been there for me. He or she paid my college fee. He was okay. You don't marry based on sympathy.
You don't compromise.
You don't.
I wrote a piece the other day
Okay.
on something that has to do with a lady was dating somebody for a short period and that person was coercing her to sleep with him. That he is interested in marriage but he wants to test her.
I think you're
And that and that matter came up.
And
what I wrote
Are you a know that they can taste? They should taste
you know,
time.
these issues are double-edged sword.
Yeah.
We always sometimes expect from the negative opposites.
Yeah.
But have we come to check on what are our giving out,
Exactly.
what we attract? Because I
Yeah.
tell you,
Yeah.
sometimes young lady will indulge a man.
Yeah.
That man will pay the school fee.
Exactly.
That man will feed the family.
Yeah.
That man, and you know exactly what that man is capable of doing. He is violent, he is rude, he is this and that. And you will indulge him to be doing all of that. And at the
Because
end
of
of
what
the
you are
day,
getting from him.
yes, and at
You
the end
want
of
to
the day,
let go.
also please, let us don't indulge him having it at the back of our minds that at the end of the day, I'm not going to marry to him. That is unfair.
bad, to be honest.
Because what you give, then the same energy you give, the same energy.
To be honest with you, when I'm on broadcast, I like to give practical example more over my life. When you know, okay, our families most of the time is the problem. By the grace of God, I am blessed with a very good family, to be honest. I was having a relationship where the person was staying overseas. He was trying his best to support. But when I look and see some red flags, I told my mom, this person will not work. Let him take his 150
Even though he's still
$.
overseas.
Yes, he's still there. In fact, he's a celebrity now because he came to Sierra Leone for a program and he was whatever. But I took my stand. I said, Mom, this person I will not do. And by the grace of God, my family supported me. If it were some families, they would say,
you want to use the meat from our mouth. Yeah, we are benefiting. You want to stop us.
Some families,
You want to support our dollars. We are
The parents have role to play.
But
Helping their children choosing
if
wisely.
my parents
Wisely.
we are maybe the opposite,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, I would not have been here to say
You have
all
been
of this.
crying.
And that takes us to me saying that parents have a lot of role to play
Exactly.
in helping us.
Exactly.
Sometimes we don't even know. Some people are so naive that they don't know what to choose. They just go and choose randomly.
Well, that's
But
the
for
reason.
parents, as a mother, you've got an experience. You see life.
Right.
You know everything that life can give. You see this particular person that your daughter wants to marry. Call her. Teach her. Counsel her. Tell her these are the red flags I'm seeing in your relationship. Or don't do this mistake. Or do this. You know, but parents, we
Okay,
have a
my mom
lot of
Parents
role
will
to
keep
play.
quiet because of
This is
what they are
Bible.
receiving.
My mom,
Keep quiet
my
because of
mom
what we
taught
are
me
getting.
one thing: relationship, whether with a man or a woman, whatever. When you visit me, my mom will say, favor. No, Pastor Mox, so you go left this person. All they can do for me something. I know that my mom did not want that relationship or friendship for me. But if I want to go and leave the person, I say, Mom, I'm coming. Okay, take care. I know, okay, it's fine. So, your parents are your backbone.
Yeah, they are supposed to be guiding us.
They should guide you.
That's it.
That is why it's very important for our parents to be spiritual. So we have the opportunity now to be spiritual for our children.
Yes.
So we have to set the pace, set examples for our children.
That's it.
So that they will not make the same mistakes
Mistakes we've made.
Made in the past. As parents, they should not mount pressure.
on you. You are getting old.
Go and marry that
Your
one.
friends are getting married. Your friends are giving back. Again, to my mom. Sorry if I'm bringing her up.
No.
I understand.
I have one of my friends. Okay, I didn't give back early now because I'll just say that most of my friends were giving back this. So one of them came to the house. Oh, favor. You subscribe on now. Not knowing that my mom was listening to us. So I was just laughing. When she left, my mom said that child or that lady, I don't want to ever see her in my house again. And she was very serious. I said, Mom, he said, yes, I don't want to ever. Because it's like she was telling me that giving back without getting married is normal.
Which is not.
It is not. But let us don't shake that table.
And then I want to also look at an instance where all of these mistakes or red flags or things that we should not, we should be aware of before getting into finding a husband or a wife for ourselves. And there are people out there who have gone through those mistakes, those things. Don't be left out. Don't think everything has shut down on you, or you are on the wrong side of life. You can still take that U-turn. All you need to do, if you are still single and have done so many things that have limited your chances at life, just know that the first place to run to is at the feet of God. For reform, for renewal, because He made us, and He has the authority and power to reform us. And when you start from there, believe you me, all of what we're saying are just the suffix of what is the real principle and standards of God.
One might say, I have ignored all the red flags. Now I'm into the marriage. What am I supposed to do?
Exactly. The only thing now is to endure.
Just to endure.
Prayerfully endure. Because again, God is a God of vengeance and a God of mercy.
Honestly.
He can see your plight. if whether it was a honest mistake or a deliberate mistake, he can see your plight and see the state of your heart and mind and decide to cushion your pain. I'm telling you, it is out of experience.
So honestly,
God can help
me personally. I will not say endure, then I will not say leave.
You won't quit, so you just be there.
Do you know why?
Yeah.
If you ask this person to endure, what if in the process the person lose his life or her life?
Well, it depends on the gravity, because red flags and violence.
Separate them. You separate them.
How?
Or put apart, because I think that's the exact statement. You say put apart. So now putting them apart, the man or the woman will be here, or the man will be here, the woman will be here.
What if
in
they have
different places? Yes, they will know how to manage it. When you put them apart during that separation period, the pastor or whosoever will be talking to the woman, talking to the man for them to see reason.
That's for violence.
But you will not say let them endure during chaos.
Yes, can I come?
No, yeah,
Can I say something, please?
Chaos, 1 minute. Chaos, in the case or instance of violence,
Yes, you put
that
them
one
apart.
is not only a crime towards God,
Yes.
even to state.
Society.
So let the state make it be aware to institutions that will come in and save your life.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no one is advising that you should separate.
In a violent relationship.
You understand? So one for your life in a sense, make it known to those that can.
Exactly.
And for the part where I said that you should endure, it's something that this I don't like it. This will not make my life fulfilled. This
But
will
not the partner being
this will not
violent.
make this. I'm not the man I used to know. And you have made your choice. That is why I always emphasize when I talk to young people, you have to be aware of yourself. You have to know yourself. You have to know the full length and breadth of what you're capable of doing. Who is who are you in person and what you want in life. Once you've reached to that stage, when you make your choice of having a husband or wife, believe me, you will choose in line with what will guide you or what will help you.
That's going to. That's why
Can I say something? Can you guys please give me say something?
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, I want to say something. Ladies have spoken a lot. Now, what I was saying here is what I want to say. You can never know somebody all. You cannot know somebody finish. No matter how many years you date that person, you can never see all the red flags. But you will see some
major ones.
The major ones.
Because
that will bet.
Nobody can hide their character forever. You must see them, and you being there, not you ignore all those red flags, and now you are in there. Depends on the gravity of the red flags. If the man is violent, I will tell you to run.
For your life.
I will not tell you, yes, you should give up. Let's say you are there until the man kill you. What
will happen to
your kids and your parents? They are going to all of them are going to, yes, you run. You separate with the person.
Divorce.
No, the Bible says put them apart.
You
put them apart.
I'm coming. Let me come.
For the viewers.
Let me come. Let me rest my case. Now,
You understand?
if this man is beating you, taking advantage of you in that home, or you're going to sit down there, start calling social welfare, start calling all of these organizations, humanitarian, to come and plead with the man.
No,
you are going to run for your life.
That means
you are going to divorce. Yeah, you are not going to divorce.
Well, that is exactly what we also see.
Okay, in Christian.
Now, if you come to a point of divorce,
I am saying,
if you come to a point of divorce,
put apart.
Because
if you take the matter to the court, they will say dissolve. We will dissolve, but they will not say divorce.
Now,
whatever I say,
you guys don't allow me to rest my case.
You see, I cannot. One cannot.
No, everybody have their own standards.
As for me, I believe you should set them apart. It's the best thing.
Yes, you set them apart and making sure, because from the standard of the principle of God, you're not allowed to marry to divorce because your husband is violent. If you separate, you should make sure you don't get involved in another marriage.
Another marriage. What is that marriage not ready to change?
No.
Are you going to? So you may separate?
No.
But
In the area of this
God
divorce,
is against divorce.
in the area of this divorce,
And the only
God is against divorce, but God is not against the divorcing. I think we need to come up with this topic for another
No, that's a topic for another time. Now, what we are trying to say here is I'm against this violence.
Because
because a lot of women have died in marriages.
These inefficiency.
I know.
That's
a lot of women have died because of this
what's the man
sugarcoat it.
Okay, this is something another day.
We are not going to.
In the area of marriage, we don't have absolute knowledge on it.
Yeah,
we only give our own bit. So we should leave a room for escape because we don't have an absolute.
Yeah. So we are going to leave a room for escape. But we're sending message out there to people. Now we are going to tell them, if you have this man that is beating you, don't sit in that home and try to say, I don't want to divorce. That's some women don't even talk. Some women don't even go out there. They don't even say it. They don't talk. They are going to enjoy that woman.
No,
that man kill them.
You go apart if there is no remedy. But the area of divorce, I always stand by that principle.
God don't want us to divorce. That we know for sure.
God
hates divorce. God hates divorce.
Does not hate.
But if the man is beating you, advise you to work on that one.
Yes, the act. And what causes the act is what God was after.
Okay, thank you.
We'll talk about
this is a topic for another day.
Yes.
Thank you, our viewers. As we are about to draw the curtain, now please don't forget, before you say I do, or before you choose a lifetime partner, please, firstly, you need to know God. You should have God. Also, place a value on yourself. Find something and do for yourself. Don't be dependent on the man extorting money. I need support. I need to do my hair. I need to look good. Please find something and do for yourself. So as we are about to draw the curtain now, what will be your final word for today?
Yes, young Jen, I want to use this opportunity to talk directly to you, not based on absolute knowledge, far from it, but based on perhaps experience or what I have heard, learned and researched about. When you're about to enter into a relationship, make sure you know exactly what you want in that relationship of marriage, and know also the weight which a marriage relationship carries, and be prepared for it. So once you get into it, you wouldn't want to find the exit, because one writer said, and I quote, if you're in a room where there is no window, no door, and it's all sealed, and a light break out, the first instinct of you is to put out that light. You will not think of finding a way out because there is no way out. But if you put out that light, you will be able to survive. That is a food for thought. Go and think about that. And until we meet again, thank you. That is it.
Over to you, ma'am.
My people, how are they? Now, my final words or my final message to you all is this. As a relationship or marriage counselor, make sure before you go to that altar or wherever, maybe some of you go to the shrines, before you go there, make sure you know yourself. You know that this person that I'm going to entrust my life to is capable of handling my life. So that you will avoid matters that touches the heart. Like sadly, we have lost our sister. May her soul rest in peace. So please, before you dwell into those corners, kindly do your research well. And lastly, there is no age limit to get married. Even if you are 50, you will get married and enjoy your married life. Don't rush. Take your time. My brothers, my sisters, thank you.
And for me, before you get married or before you say I do, please let us don't ignore the red flags. Let us don't be selfish in setting our standards for anybody. And before you say I'm going to set my standard or value, make sure you yourself you are disciplined. Make sure you yourself you have value before you set that standard. And make sure you know God, because the only one that is going to guide you through the life, the journey, this marriage journey, because it's a journey, is the only one that can guide you and direct your path. And also, if you've made a mistake, you're already in there. please be paying to the gravity of the red flags. Now, if that man is beating you, I'm not advising any woman to endure in that marriage. If a man is beating you, run for your life, my sister. Run for your life, but it's something that you can call counselors or go for counseling or call in your pastor that your pastor can settle. Please make sure you learn to talk. Women, let us learn to talk.
Speak up.
Let us learn to go out there and speak up. Talk to people that can advise you, that can give you salient ideas, that can teach you and guide you. Let us start grumbling, murmuring, or sitting down at home. I'm going to endure for the sake of my children. What do people will say? Please run for your life. If you know your life is at stake. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you. So this is where we'll draw the curtains down. Thank you, and please don't forget to like, don't forget to share this video, and hit the comment section. Please tell us, what do you think before you say I do, or before you choose a life partner. Thank you all for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.